Sada imam zadovoljstvo da pozovem našeg sledećeg govornika, tačnije govornicu, dame i gospodo, direktorka USAID-a u Srbiji, Azza El Abd. You're welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ambassador Kirby is unable to participate. He conveys his regrets. He's ill. He asked me to convey his remarks. As 2014 draws to a close, I would like to thank the organizers for choosing this moment to look ahead and consider the world in 2015. An Economist Forum is an apt venue to discuss Serbia's near-term priorities as they are mostly economic. I believe that issues of economy and of finance will continue to elbow their way to the top of Serbia's priority list. This audience, I am sure, does not find this a startling prognostication. Despite, however, Serbia's ongoing European Union accession talks, its chairmanship of the OSCE, and any unforeseen future events, the bread and butter issues of jobs, investment, and prosperity will be at the fore of the political agenda in Belgrade. Now, let's see if I can provide a synopsis of those issues in a mere 15 minutes. I would like to offer a few words on Serbia's economic transformation, on how Serbia will achieve sustainable economic growth ahead, and on how Serbia's continued Euro-Atlantic integration will bring benefits to all. Serbia is transforming itself to break from its past. For the last 20 years, lifeless and stagnant public companies have failed to deliver what Serbians want most: good, honest jobs. They too often gulp taxpayer dollars, resist innovation, and smother competition, leaving Serbia with an unemployment rate that is very high. Our government is proud to support Serbia in its efforts to create a more dynamic and successful environment for business in Serbia. Over the last several months, we have seen significant progress on the economic agenda. The government adopted and the National Assembly passed vital laws to regulate the labor market. And as we heard from Minister Vulin, it already has an impact on the unemployment rate. To modernize the privatization process, to improve the bankruptcy system, and to streamline construction procedures. This package of laws will improve the business environment and spur job growth. In addition to this, the government is taking substantive measures towards fiscal reform. Serbia's preliminary agreement with the International Monetary Fund is a clear indication that Serbia is on the right track. And yet, good intentions only get you so far. They don't solve the budget crisis. They won't improve the business environment, and they definitely won't create jobs. You can't just say that you're going to improve the business environment. You have to follow through. You have to implement the reforms that have been adopted, and that is the challenge now for Serbia. When I say Serbia, I do mean the whole nation. This has to be a corporate effort. The process is too important to be left to politicians, to CEOs, or NGOs, or trade unions. No one can do this alone. This is a challenge for all of Serbia. What we are talking about here is change, and change is never easy or painless. It will take the commitment of all Serbians to transform Serbia into the country you all want, one that is stable, democratic, and prosperous. So how will Serbia achieve sustainable economic growth? The first step should be a recognition that the days of large, state-owned enterprises creating jobs are over. Private industry should do the job creation for Serbia in 2015. I hope for more success stories like Italy's Fiat or Cooper Standard from the US. Give the private sector a chance. A robust entrepreneurial private sector will drive growth. Peter Drucker, the business thinker, said, "Entrepreneurs always search for change, respond to it, and exploit it as an opportunity. Entrepreneurs increase competition, drive technology and innovation, and increase productivity. They introduce new products and services, open new markets, and improve quality of life by increasing choice and stimulating consumer demand." That is a good thing, because new consumer demand can fuel economic growth. The American economy, for example, depends on entrepreneurs. Small businesses provide about 75% of new jobs each year. 99% of all US employers are small businesses, and they're often self-employed entrepreneurs. And before you think we can never compete with Google, which was started by 2 PhD students, not some state-owned enterprises, remember that small firms innovate far more than large ones. In America, small technology companies produce nearly 13 times more patents per employee than large firms, 13 times. For that reason, we support the efforts of Serbia and its neighbors to create an environment where entrepreneurs can thrive. We value the role that entrepreneurship makes in developing stable, secure democracies. Governments play a role in supporting entrepreneurship. Policies, when well conceived, create an environment that is friendly to entrepreneurs and allows them to flourish. This entrepreneurial-friendly environment will allow any individual or business, regardless of size, location, or mission, to expand and to thrive. That is what government can do best: create the conditions for the private sector to be the engine of economic growth. Of course, government must sometimes intervene in business. Witness my government's reaction to the economic crisis in 2008. By and large, when it comes to government involvement, we believe that less is more. So in 2015, we believe that one of the best strategies for encouraging entrepreneurship and small business innovation is to make regulatory policy simpler and faster. Governments should reduce the cost of regulatory compliance. In Serbia's case, the government's regulatory reform agenda must be implemented. Give entrepreneurs a chance to succeed. Small business can thrive where there is rule of law, respect for property rights, and a legal system to protect those rights. That brings me to my third point: Serbia's continuing transatlantic integration. In crafting these policies and reshaping the economy, I firmly believe that the surest route for Serbia to succeed in this challenging economic environment is to join the European Union. Is that in Serbia's interest or the EU's? Both, of course. The United States is not a member of the European Union, so I respectfully defer to my colleagues from the EU delegation. But the United States is a strong supporter of Serbia's accession to the EU, and we try to assist in ways that are helpful to all. Every step that Serbia takes toward the European Union is a positive signal to investors about Serbia's political stability, its commitment to the rule of law, and its dedication to building a competitive market-based economy. Investors, including Serbians, want to see that the fundamental reforms that are necessary to harmonize Serbia's system with the EU's system have been enacted, have been implemented, and are irreversible. This is already happening, at least from the perspective of the United States. The US is Serbia's fifth largest trade partner, with whom Serbia will record a trade surplus this year. I am pleased that our trade relationship is growing and diversifying as our two countries grow closer and closer. The success that Serbia has achieved in Kragujevac is having a knock-on effect with auto parts manufacturers like Johnson Controls and Cooper Standard investing in Serbia. Their competitors have noticed and are now performing their due diligence. Last year, Kohlberg Kravis Roberts, an American investment firm, bought SBB, and they launched N1 in Serbia, Croatia, and Bosnia. That's a big bet on Serbia and on the region. And of course, Esmark Steel has said that it wants to buy the Smederevo Steelworks. US investors are deepening and strengthening their ties in Serbia, and I believe they are optimistic about a prosperous future here. Americans are increasing their investments here, not abandoning them. In closing, let me say that the EU accession talks have put a lot on Serbia's agenda, but everything on that agenda is first and foremost in Serbia's interest. Perhaps Serbians wish these impending reforms were in the rear review mirror, but they aren't. So now is the time. In 2015, certainly, but even now, Serbia will find that it must cut red tape, strengthen rule of law, combat corruption, and strengthen the institutions that make democracy work. Serbia will need to engage with global institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Trade Organization as further signals of seriousness. 2014 was a momentous year for Serbia. It started off with a bang in January with the formal start of Serbia's accession negotiations with the European Union, one of the longest strides towards a prosperous future that this country has ever taken. Will 2015 be as historic? Only time will tell, but much of it is in Serbia's hands. Thank you.